Hello, everyone. I'm just going to give it another minute or so. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. The Q&A is open if you have any questions along the webinar. I'm just going to wait another minute to see if anybody else will join, and then we can get started. All right, I'm going to start sharing my screen. I want to thank everyone for joining for today's webinar session. For today, we'll be looking at our report manager for Avid CRM, as well as Profit, but for Profit it's pretty much the same as before. But we did release our report manager for Avid CRM, which works with the new Outlook. So it has been released for production. Anyone that is using Avid CRM in the new Outlook, you should be able to see it right away. You don't really need to update anything. Um, but let me start sharing my screen here. So I'll show you what I mean. So as of right now, I am in the new Outlook. As you can see, I have the Avid CRM open. And then if I click on that, I have the window already open back here. And I am in Avid CRM in the Contact Manager. So basically 2 updates that was released in the since last week and throughout this weekend and throughout this week as well. Anybody that uses Avid CRM, you should see a report manager button here or a reports button here, and then also a CRM AI button as well. It should already be available. There shouldn't be any updates. You may have to maybe sign out of the account and then sign back in if you don't see it right away. But you should be able to see these 2 buttons, which is new. Obviously, the reports button will give us the report manager. So we'll kind of review that as well. And then we'll kind of look at how the CRM AI works as well. And then if you have any questions, the Q&A is open. I'm going to move this here to my other screen so I can keep an eye on it. All right. So let's go over our new report manager. If I click on reports, as you can see, our report manager for the new Outlook opened up. We try to make it simple as possible as before. Anybody that is coming from the Profit CRM, most of the items here are very similar, depending on, what type of category or reports you want to run. It asks you the same thing as the previous report manager in Profit. If I pull that up here, and I'm in the Profit CRM here, but if I click on reports, as you can see, it's very similar to the categories that we have, except in here, you get another window. Same thing for the new Outlook. You get a report manager window, and you can click on what specific category of reports you want to run. So let's say let's do an example. We'll do contacts, and there's a couple report names that are available by default. If anybody's familiar with Report Manager, you can create your own by clicking on Wizard. And if you follow the prompts, you can create your own reports. Obviously, it will ask you, what data points that you want to look at or create. So it's very pretty much the same as anybody that's been using Report Manager and Profit. So these two reports we provided as like a starter. Um, Usually is contact created by users or contacts modified by users. So basically, this report would just tell you, any contacts that has been recently created, or if you want to sort it by a specific date or whatever the case. So let's do one. This is in production, so I have tested this before within the test environment, but just like you, I am also using this on production as a first time as well. So let's kind of play around with it. So contacts created by users, I want it in portrait mode. The format, you can change it to Excel if that's what you want to see it in, but we also have a basic format. I'm going to uncheck this to remove duplicate rows because I kind of want to see all of the data. So let's do a date. Um, I think I have created some contacts within the 30 days. So let's do a date of maybe 30 days. I don't want any filter. I'll just sort it by default. Um, so let's take a look. I want to preview the PDF. All right. So as you can see, we did create some users. It gave us a PDF style type of report. It gave us the data information of that specific user and whoever created those contacts. It also has a timestamp as well. It gives you the city. All of these columns can be adjusted, but you would have to do that prior before you run the reports. So right now it gave us basically everything between the 30 days from today all the way back in December, basically. All right. So you can save it. You can also print it. It gives you that option for those reports. But let's say if you want to see it in like an Excel format, if we do a preview here, if you like the data like this, which, depending on how you want to view it, you can see there's an Excel now in that format. And then you have your tables and columns, right? The full name, the job, and all of that information kind of gives you that. Let's do opportunities. Um, like I said, this is all test data, so we may not have the exact data to spit out because we don't really have opportunities that we put in. Most of our data is just test purposes. So let's say uh, opportunities created by users, and I'll just do a basic one. And the date, let's say period of 30 days. So we don't have to just wait. If we go back 6 months, then it will kind of get all that data for you, but you may just sit here for a couple of minutes depending on how long you're going back. So let's do a preview on this. Let's see if we get anything. So as you can see, we created some of these as test data. It gave us the opportunities created by users. And like I said, all of these columns and the data that you're looking for can be customized if you create your own by doing the wizard function in report. It kind of gives us a good representation of what type of reports you may be looking for, right? If we close it, if you want to do it in Excel, we can probably see that information, same thing as here in Excel as well, right? And then if we look at Wizard, this is what I mean if you want to create your own, right? Let's say you want to create opportunities. The sales department will do a test. And you can name the title whatever you like. So basically, whatever report name you want to put, just like at the top or the header, um, you can call it whatever you like. But this is the name that will show up in the header of the report. And when I say that, all of those columns can be customized. So these are all the data fields. And basically, these are the columns that your database are using. Or if you have custom columns, those names will appear here. And maybe you just want to see like the users, right? You just want to see the sales stage of that opportunity. You don't want to see everything. Just a couple points, activity types, right? If you use the activity. Um, and maybe you just want to see the revenue, right, or probability of that opportunity. So you can pick and choose, which type of data points you want to see in the report wizard. And this is basically how you would create a custom report is using the wizard functionality. It's the same thing if you use the Profit CRM. If you're aware that it uses the report manager, there is also a wizard button as well, and it's the same thing. You would, pick the opportunity, pick your department. Obviously, this is the Profit CRM version, but it works the same way. The only difference with this is the performance and the UI is a lot much smoother than the Profit CRM. And I'll just hit finish. So as you can see, there's my report that I created on the wizard. It's now under the opportunity category because that's where I decided to create it, and it has all of the information that I wanted. Now I don't think it's gonna give me any data because I just put random columns. But let's see, maybe it'll give us something. Maybe we created some. Okay, so as you can see, Warren probably has created certain things um, within the 30 days. And we have some sales stages. And these are the columns that I specifically wanted. I wanted to know the users, I wanted to know the sales stage, the activity type, and the probability. Most likely, you may want to put in the opportunity name, right? So you know which opportunity it's referring to. But those are the column names that I decided that I wanted to see. All right, so I'm gonna get out of the report manager. The way you can do that, just press the X button. But for anybody that is using the report manager, it is up in Avid CRM for the new Outlook. You should have access to it. If you don't see it, you may have to just sign out of the account and sign back in. And that's when the signing out is basically right here when you do log out. And that's just going to refresh the software and then get you the update automatically. There's really nothing that you would need to click on other than if you don't see it right away, other than logging out. Um, the account sales category is cool. A lot of people uses this for probabilities or a forecast of their revenue. Let's see if we have anything. No. So I don't have any, we don't really have anything. Like I said, all of our data is just testing data. So we probably didn't put any like sales revenue in the last 30 days or anything like that. But if you were to have it, you would probably see this information. If you use the opportunities, you include the sales stage, the revenues, you'll kind of see a forecast of what you may um, have in the pipeline of maybe for the past 30 days or for the month of January. That all can be adjusted within the date period here, right? Um, let's try 30 days. Maybe we have something within the 30 days. No. So we don't really have any data for you to just see, but as you can see, this is how it would look if you just wanted the report to show up. And same thing, you can do it in Excel as well. So I'm going to get out of the report manager for right now. If anybody has questions about it, feel free to put it in the Q&A. Um, and I just want to briefly touch on the CRM AI here. So for most of you that uses Avid CRM, you probably would see this already, and you may be confused on, one is called CRM AI, and the other one is called AI Assistant. We intended this to be there because there's gonna be two different model versions of the AI. The CRM AI is completely free for everyone that has a license, so there's no really extra charge for that at all. Um, if I click on it, it will, it will prompt you to sign in. In my case, I already signed in, so I'm already signed. It's not gonna ask me for my credentials again. But for this, anybody can ask it questions, just like I have done in my previous webinar of showing the AI. You can ask it questions regarding, your data or whatever the case. The other AI, if you click on the drop down, there's called an AI assistant. And that is our phase three. We call it agentic AI, and that's gonna be a lot more powerful for certain companies that want to have a streamline of actionable items, more in depth about their data. Um, this one has not been released. Anybody that tries to use it, you're just gonna get this prompt, even for myself, because it's not in production. So as of right now, you'll get this message: a license is required for this feature, contact sales. That is intended because this is still in development with the AI assistant. But for this normal CRM AI, everyone should have access to this. This is what I have showcased in my last webinar. Um, we can probably do maybe a question here of kind of show you how it works. I'm just gonna ask it a question, like a generic question. Oh, okay, it's probably asking me for my login again. It will prompt you if you don't use it for a while, because it wants to know which account is searching for security purposes. So I haven't touched this for the past 2 days, but let's see. So I'm just gonna ask it a normal question: how to create a contact, which is just a basic knowledge question. And it gives us the steps. So basically the same thing as I have shown in my last week webinar. Uh, it's in production for anybody that wants to use it. Also, we do have it in production for Profit CRM as well. So anybody that is not using Avid, you should have access to the Profit version. As you can see, there's a button here. It's called CRM AI, just like um, this one here. So if anybody is not able to see this, you may want to check your version because the Profit CRM is not web-based. Um, it uses your computer software that's currently downloaded locally. So you need to update the software in order to get this button here. Um, so if you look at your version, if you're under this version here, 9.1171, that's why you're probably not seeing it. The way that you can update is if you can go to tools, I'm sorry, if you go to help, there's the update profit button here, and you can check for profit updates. If you're on the latest version after that, then you should be able to see the CRM AI. It works exactly as I've shown, and it will prompt you for a login. So yes, both for Profit and Avid, the AI functionality is released. Um, Except for Profit, if you're under a lower version, you may not see this button. You just have to update the Profit software by going to Help, Update Profit, check for Profit updates. All right. Now I'm gonna take any questions you may have regarding Report Manager or the AI system. I'll leave it open for the next 10 minutes. For today's session, this was basically we're just gonna touch up on our CRM, on the Report Manager, and the AI system. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the Q&A. For next week's session, we'll kind of go through our campaign manager um, and briefly touch on how campaign manager can help you with your CRM data. If you have any questions with maybe another topic or you want an overview for next week, feel free to put it in the Q&A or reach out. So if no one has questions, I'll stop sharing my screen. Um, and I want to thank everyone for joining for today's call with the release of Report Manager and the AI system for Avid CRM. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.